Unbelievable. Nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills, man. They had them. They had them on the ropes. They had them on the ropes several times. The Eagles survived. I don't know how they do it every single week. The Eagles find a way to win. The only quarterback that's beat them, only team, just freaking Zach Wilson and the Jets, man. I can't believe it. The Eagles are 10-1. The 49ers could have chipped into that lead, but now they got to handle business on their own. They can't rely on other teams. You have to take care of business on your own. They have to go into the link and get revenge. They're going to probably play them in the playoffs too, but this is the first game of probably two this year. And man, this is going to be a big game. But let's talk about the Bills had him on the ropes. Josh Allen played a hell of a game, the game of his life, really. This is the best I've ever seen Josh Allen. But the man cannot win in overtime. As soon as that field goal kick by the Eagles was made, I was like, oh, Josh Allen in overtime. He's now 0-6. I mean, the 59-yard field goal by the Eagles. Are you kidding me? 59-yard field goal in the rain. That was crazy. Like, I hate the Eagles, but that was a clutch kick, man. You have to have a clutch kicker. If it comes down to it, man, I hope Moody can make a clutch kick because that was ice in the veins kick by the Eagles. Elliott, oh my God. And then in overtime, the Bills were driving. They had the keys out. Gabe Davis and Josh Allen miscommunication on third down. They couldn't get the touchdown, the gimme, go ahead, game winner. They had to settle for a field goal. And the Eagles, they drove down the field. DeAndre Swift, big run. Jalen Hurts calls his number, runs it in, scores a touchdown. Unbelievable game. That was a great game. I was on pins and needles. I was nervous all game. If that's how the Niners Philly game is next week, oh my God, I'm going to need a Tums, a Malox, a Tylenol, an aspirin, an Excedrin. I'm going to need it all, baby. I'm going to have this whole bottle of extra strength Tylenol. That was an incredible game tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my God. Next week is revenge, says Adriana. Combo says the missed field goals cost the Bills. Absolutely. The fact that Jalen ran for the touchdown absolutely was wild. That was a fumble by A.J. Brown, says Niner Guy for Life. What do you think? Did the refs help the Eagles? Like, I don't want to sit here and talk about the refs all game, but the refs, they make some pivotal calls, and there's going to be some pivotal moments by the refs in next week's game, just like there always is. Kelsey missing, he had 2 delay of game penalties, like back-to-back flags. That was crazy on Jason Kelsey. You never see that happen. That was crazy. And, yeah, A.J. Brown, I thought he caught it. Hey, A.J. Brown doesn't make drop passes. I thought he caught the ball and they fumbled it, but hey, it is what it is. That was a wild game. There was a point where Josh Allen got thrown to the ground and they called him for rough what did they call him for? It was a penalty. It was I can't even think of the penalty name. They called him for intentional grounding. Sorry. They called Josh Allen for intentional grounding. The man got horse collared. He got horse collared and they didn't call it. So there definitely was some questionable calls, but hey, Philly stuck around, and that's a team you can't let them hang around. If the 49ers let the Eagles hang around like the Bills did, like the Chiefs did, they're a team that could come back. The refs give them free opportunities. They got a good team. It's going to be a battle. And Philadelphia was without 2 of their big players. They didn't have Lane Johnson. They didn't have Fletcher Cox, and they still found a way to win. The 49ers, I mean, whether or not the Eagles have those guys or not, it's still going to be a massive battle. And I think their tight end Dallas Goedert, he's been out for a couple of weeks. He might come back this week against the Niners. Go figure. But unbelievable game coming up next week, Sunday, 1:00 p.m. Pacific, 4 Eastern. This is the game of the week next week. Fox game of the week. They did not want to give up the rights to put this on Sunday Night Football. It could have been flexed. This game could have been flexed to Sunday night, the Niners and Eagles, but the Fox network, the executive says, nope, we're keeping this game. The views are going to be crazy. They're going to make that dollar bill, y'all. This right here is the best. This is a great comment. The 3 days rest for the Niners was crucial. Absolutely. That's one of the first thoughts I had after this game. The Bills just played the Eagles to the brink. They played them like crazy. And, it's going to be a short week for the Eagles compared to the Niners, who had the Thursday night game, a couple extra days rest, and the Eagles played an overtime game. They had to play a knockdown, drag out war. They're going to be exhausted. So this definitely is a key for the 49ers. They're going to be a little bit better rested, and you have to be rested. You have to have your energy to play the Eagles because the Eagles are a ferocious team, a great team that's stout on the line defensively and offensively. So that extra rest, I think, is going to come in clutch. And the 49ers right now are very healthy. You know, knock on wood, they're very healthy. Debo is back over the last couple of weeks. Trent Williams is back. Aaron Banks came back, right? Everybody on this team is pretty much at their peak. They're healthy. CMC is healthy. Everybody's there. The only guy that's hurt, unfortunately, that's a really big part of this team is Talanoa Hufanga. But the rookie Jair Brown, he stepped up and he's done really good. Mooney Ward is coming off a massive game where he clamped DK Metcalf and he became his father. He signed the papers. I saw it earlier today. The court documents show that that Charvarius Mooney Ward is indeed the father of DK Metcalf. The results came back. I was watching Maury. DNA test does not lie, ladies and gentlemen. He is now the father of DK Metcalf. He's owned him 2 years in a row. That man has to do the same thing to AJ Brown. A massive game against the Eagles next week. And Mooney, Charvarius Ward has to go and be the clamp daddy. He has to be the clamp daddy for AJ Brown because if AJ Brown comes to play and he's AJ Brown, it's going to be a tough game. Mooney Ward has to shadow. If there's no question in my eyes, after locking up DK Metcalf, you need to put Mooney Ward on AJ Brown. Make him the clamp daddy of AJ Brown. That's what needs to happen. They got two great receivers, Devonta Smith. They got AJ Brown. So the 49ers secondary, again, it's going to be a massive battle. Deommodore Lenoir in the slot, been playing pretty well. And Ambry Thomas on the outside has been absolutely great. A revelation. You have Ambry Thomas, Devonta Smith, Mooney Ward, AJ Brown, Deommodore Lenoir. It's going to be a very, very big time battle. Oh, Ethan Collins says we have the better 11. And Brandon Aiyuk, let's talk about it. They have a great 11. AJ Brown, he's a dog, man. You can't take anything away. He's one of the best receivers in the NFL. But Brandon Aiyuk steadily rising. He's steadily rising up the charts. This man is tearing it up. He is starting to turn into the receiver we've been wanting to. He's scoring the touchdowns. And the connection with him and Brock Purdy, chef's kiss. Amazing. So Brandon Aiyuk has to bring that business. The man that we have no worries about that is going to stand on business and deliver is the young man Tyshawn Deebo Samuel. Deebo Samuel is about to stand on business. Do you know how mad he must be from last year? Because all the talk, everybody sat there and gassed him, and all they talked about after the loss during Super Bowl week was the 49ers, and he got rolled on the internet. He got roasted. They dragged him because every stupid reporter wanted to talk to the Niner guys about losing to Philly. So he stood, he answered it, he kept his statements 100%, and people are like, oh, why are you talking like a sore loser, like a salty guy? They were asking the questions, and you know Deebo Samuel, this is a game that means absolutely everything to him. Oh my God, I cannot wait for Deebo Samuel to bring the heat. Trent Williams, the last time Trent Williams and the Eagles were playing, Trent Williams just clubbed a man. He looked like a bouncer in a club. Do you remember that? Where Trent Williams socked him and they got in a fight? There is definitely no love lost between the Philadelphia Eagles and the San Francisco 49ers, ladies and gentlemen. CMC, last year he was carrying this team until Brock Purdy unfortunately got hurt. You know CMC is going to bring the business. This man looks like the MVP candidate for the 49ers. Everybody now after today's game, they're going to say Jalen Hurts MVP because that was his MVP moment, the running touchdown to seal the game in overtime. It was a great moment. That was his MVP moment. But you know, CMC is ready to stand and deliver and bring his MVP moment against the Eagles. Oh, I cannot absolutely wait. Ethan Collins says this is Brock's real redemption game. I couldn't have said it any better than that. This is the Brock Purdy redemption game. Oh my God, last year, what did we say? That Brock Purdy, if he would have stayed healthy, the 49ers would have won. So now they got to kind of back that up, right? I am so hyped. I'm so nervous. I'm going to vomit some point this week because of the excitement, the nerves, the jitters, the hype. It is going to be a battle, man. Debo said the Niners are the best team. Niners want to prove that. Says throwback. Absolutely. They have a lot to prove. Dustin Hurst says Brock will outplay Hurts. I'm calling it right now. I hope so, man. Glock Purdy about to be capping these fools says, oh, hey, it's going to be a Brock Purdy versus Jalen Hurts. The big talk right now is Jalen's so much better. He started off very slow in this game. He did build up and he played better in the second half. But if that game would have ended and Jalen Hurts had the Jalen Hurts stat line he was having in that first half, I mean, if that was Brock Purdy, it would have been a lot of propaganda and negativity. Jalen Hurts gets a lot of excuses, but he did step up and play really well towards the end. And again, the game-winning touchdown, like that was clutch money. So can't hate on that. But this is going to be an absolute battle between these guys. Brock Purdy's got a lot to prove, right? Last year he was knocked out of the game, and people said, and Niner fans and the Niners said, if Brock Purdy was there, it's a different game. Now we have to prove that it will be a different game with Brock Purdy there. Whoo. My man Rashad says, my nephew is here now. Healthy baby boy. Let's go. Congrats to you and your family for a new member of the faithful. Appreciate that, man. That's good to know, man. Happy birthday to your nephew. That's it. It's truly a birthday. So yeah. Carl Thomas says, hint to the O-line, protect Brock Purdy. Absolutely. We cannot have the same nonsense that happened last year. Eagles have a great defensive line. Hassan Reddick is a monster, man. That guy is a monster. And the rookie Carter, the kid from Georgia, that kid is just nasty. His blocked field goal, actually, if you guys remember that game, tonight's game, there was a field goal that Buffalo, they missed 2 field goals. One of them was blocked by Carter, the rookie. That actually probably turns out to be one of the most pivotal points of this game. That blocked field goal, if that doesn't happen, Buffalo probably wins because Philly probably had to score a touchdown at the end instead of that crazy 59-yard field goal. So Jalen Carter, man, this guy's been a monster as a rookie, and he's a nasty defensive lineman. That block was crazy. Got his hand up on it. That was huge. So they have a very ferocious defensive line, and the 49ers absolutely have to protect Brock Purdy, man. Yeah, Raymond says Reddick is the reason Purdy was out last year. He really, man, it's crazy because the Bills played so good. They played so good, but they made mistakes. You can't make mistakes against the Eagles. Like you have to play flawless almost. The Chiefs, they made mistakes. The fumble by Kelsey, the MVS drop, and all the other drops by the receivers. Those were pivotal moments. Today, the Bills, the interception by Josh Allen, the miscommunication to Gabe Davis in overtime, the missed field goals. You cannot leave points on the board and give Philadelphia any chances. This team is lucky, but they're also a very good team in handling adversity. Like they stay calm, they're unrattled. It is crazy watching this team, man. It's crazy watching this team. I hate the damn Eagles, man. They always find a stinking way to win the game. Campbell says, I wouldn't mind if we lose to them this week and then beat them if we meet again in the playoffs. Think about 2021 against the Rams. Hey, if that's how it plays off, I'll be happy because I'd rather win in the playoffs than the regular season game. Now, I would be mad if they do lose to the Eagles next week, but I see your theory. I see what you're saying. Like, I don't want the 49ers to lose any game. But if you can give me a crystal ball and say, okay, Raj, here you go. Check it out. This is what's the reality is what's going to happen. The 49ers will lose to the Eagles in the regular season. You can cry. You can be mad for a couple of weeks. But in the playoffs, the 49ers will extract revenge finally and beat them in the playoffs to make it to the Super Bowl. If you tell me that, I'll take it. I'll take it, big boy. I'll take it. But I do hope the 49ers beat the Eagles next week at the end of the day. Throwback says, I don't think we beat Philly. Niners have to stop beating themselves. That goes back to making mistakes. Stop giving the Eagles chances. The 49ers, just like other teams, they cannot let them stay around in the game. You have to beat this team and capitalize. You can't let teams hang around. And the 49ers have let teams hang around. If you play just to win the game against the Eagles, you're probably not going to win the game. You have to go for the gusto. You got to go aggressively. You have to take advantage of the opportunities that you get from turnovers. You cannot give them opportunities. You cannot give them second chances after second chances after second chances. So that, to me, is a very good statement, Throwback. Absolutely. Rep the Bay says the 49ers will make mistakes and keep the Eagles in it. The Eagles got the Pete Carroll voodoo. It kind of feels that way, man. I don't know. I hope that's a wrong statement, but again, only time will tell. Campbell says the Eagles have the most annoying coach. Sirianni, yeah, he pissed. Yeah, I get such nasty vibes from him. Like last week, when he goes into the tunnel, and he's like flipping off and yelling at the Chiefs fans. Like every week, he does something that's so cringeworthy, and it makes me mad. You know what? You know what? I hate that guy too. Sirianni's he's a dork. He's a dork. I haven't used that word since like middle school. He's a dork. Raphael 562, my man. He says Eagles coach looks like he kicks puppies. Yeah, he kind of does, right? He says he has that face that you just want to stomp out. He has like a punchable face. You want to like knock him out, man. Raphael says Hurts is going to turn into Dak on Sunday. Let's hope so. Let's just hope he turns into a pumpkin. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's going to be a tough matchup. Absolutely. Absolutely. S. Flood, my boy, he says, I think the Eagles rub people wrong because their coach is a piece of trash. Yo, people are coming wild for Sirianni. You all hate him. Sirianni's a loser, man. Straight up, you guys are absolutely 100% right. I can't stand the guy. Real quick, shout out to the chat. I want to say what's up. We've been here live 16 minutes talking Eagles, Niners. A big game coming up next week. I just want to say thank you to the chat. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, all that stuff. On a real note, though, I was looking at my IG today. I was like, yo, man, we are closing in on 300K. Like, I know we're building this YouTube, and we're still doing that, and I'm trying to build it as much as I can. Hopefully one day this YouTube will be as big as my Instagram. But on a real note, appreciate you guys so much. We are closing in on 300K followers on Instagram, and I saw that today. I was like, damn, I gotta say thank you to these people, because that's crazy. There's no other like fan page, sports page that is an individual like fan page of any team that has that many. That is crazy. So honestly, I gotta say thank you so much to each and every single one of you guys. Like, that is real, like, unbelievable to me. I've put in a lot of work on this page, so I just want to say thank you to everyone. 300K, man. Thank you guys. You guys are unbelievable. The support I get from you guys, absolutely love it. I know I can't always get to my DMs like I used to because just so busy, but I just have to take a minute to say thank you guys so much. 300K is crazy to me. That's wild. So appreciate y'all. Let's hope the 49ers win against the Eagles, man. Weather will be a factor. Rep the Bay says, let's just pray this game doesn't come down to Jake Moody, because we know what's going to happen. You know what, though? Let's take a minute to talk about Jake. He's been slowly playing better, man. He's been slowly getting better over the last couple of weeks. So let's not give the man negativity. I want to keep pumping positivity for Jake Moody, because, yes, you're right. The game against Cleveland, that was an atrocious ending. You know, he sold the game. He could have won the game for us, and he missed the field goal, and that sucked. But ever since, the man has been absolutely clutch. Like, he's only missed 2 field goals this year. And if he continues to build upon that, Jake Moody's, he's the guy. He's the guy. So appreciate you. 15K when you started following me. You're a real one. Defense versus defense. The truth. You know what? That's crazy. Actually, you said that. So, you know, Philmo Trev, the guy that I always play, the anthem, the 49er anthem, right? You guys see the song out. You guys always hear that song, right? When I go on my IG, the live. So we were talking, actually. He texted me yesterday. We were talking and stuff, and he said the same thing. He says he thinks it's going to be a very, very defensive battle. It's not going to be as high scoring as many people think. Maybe like a 21-17, like a 20-21, some type of kind of low scoring game. 17-14, somewhere around there. It could be a very defensive game, because both of these teams, they know each other. They're good, you know, both well coached, and they have such a scheme against each other. It could be very well a defensive game. So, Campbell says, I did predict that Moody will win us a game this season with the clutch kick. Hope that comes true. Hopefully, hey, if it comes down to a Jake Moody kick and he hits the field goal to win the game against Philadelphia in the Link, this man will have become a legend in everybody's household that's a Niner fan. I'm telling you, if he goes and kicks a game-winning field goal against the Philadelphia Eagles, nobody will ever care that he missed that field goal against the Cleveland Browns. I swear to you, if Jake Moody comes in next Sunday and he hits a game-winning field goal, oh my God, this man will become such a legend. I tell you, there's going to be Jake Moody appreciation posts. There's going to be so much Jake Moody hype if he hits a game-winning field goal. So let's hope. I hope so. My man Raphael says weather will be a factor. I agree with you because I believe next week the game will be there. There's a chance for rain. Let's take a look at the handy dandy weather app. What would we do without the weather app 20 years ago? I do love this weather app. Let's see. Next week, let's take a look. This is the best app known to man. It's a vibe. Look at this. Okay, so right now it's raining. We all saw that. Saturday next week is gonna be 39 degrees, low, a high of 48. Sunday, there is no rain forecasted, but there is a chance. It's going to be a 47, very cold game, but there could be some raining because Monday there's a 70% chance of rain in Philadelphia. Now, if it's a 70% chance of rain, maybe the storm comes over earlier on Sunday and they can get some of that rain. So we'll see. That's my meteorologist report. That's the weather report from your boy Rod. There could be some rain. I don't know, 100%. I don't know, but we'll see. I hope it doesn't rain. I just don't want a rainy game. I don't want a rainy game, ladies and gentlemen. I don't want a rainy game. Let's see. Domain says man coverage will not work against the Eagles. You know what won't work? That soft, nasty coverage that the Bills were using today. They were 10 yards off of the Eagles every single play. Like, there was times where I'm like, what are you doing, Buffalo? They were letting Philadelphia just run wheel themselves down the field so much during this game. I couldn't believe the soft coverage Buffalo was doing. Like, are you kidding me? That to me was absolutely ridiculous. The fact that they had just the most piss poor coverage. You have AJ Brown and Devonta Smith. You do not give them a 10-yard cushion. Are you kidding me? So yeah, Buffalo played a horrible coverage on Philly today. The 49ers could not play that soft zone because they were playing that early in the season. I think they got to mix it. You got to play a little bit of tight coverage, but you cannot use that soft, stupid zone coverage against Philly. That is ridiculous. Hurts is no Geno Smith. Yeah, he's a lot better than Geno Smith. I'll tell you that. Geno got crushed. Geno got crushed against the Niners, and I love it, man. Andy says Jake Moody's been doing okay. He has. S Flood says any update on the Eagles injuries? I want them at full strength. Well, again, today Lane Johnson, their big offensive lineman, did not play, and Fletcher Cox did not play either. So we'll see. Again, it's hard to really gauge injuries the day of a game because everybody's probably sore. So Monday's going to be a big injury report. Tomorrow we'll get injury reports from both teams, but specifically we'll really see what Philadelphia's injury report looks like. So again, they had two monster injuries, Fletcher Cox and Lane Johnson. We'll see if they play against the Niners next week, and also Dallas Goedert. He's their big tight end. He was hurt a couple of weeks ago, but he might be back. He was on the injured reserve, so we'll see what happens. Huss Joe says Lincoln Field is also no Lumen Field. Oh man, it's going to be a monster battle, and Philly fans are probably the worst fans in the NFL. Did you see that? There's a video viral. So some little kid goes up to a Buffalo Bills fan's an adult grown ass man. This kid, he's probably like 10 years old, maybe 9. I don't know. He's a little kid. He walks up to him and the Bills fan says something. He chirps at him. The little kid flips him up. I was like, are you kidding me? That's how they train these Philly fans from a young age to be ruthless, nasty, despicable. Philly fans are despicable, just like Seattle fans when they threw the popcorn at Bowman. But Philly fans, man, from what I heard last year to the people that went to the link, I heard nothing but horror stories. They were nasty. They were absolutely nasty, man. Max says the Eagles secondary is looking weak right now. They blew a lot of coverage on player. Yeah, no, and we said that earlier that Philadelphia, if you want to talk about their weak link, it has been the secondary. That's why they had to go get a safety, Kevin Byard, right? They had to go get that guy because the safety, that position's been trashed for them. Their secondary is definitely a weak link, and the 49ers want to beat them. They have to attack them. They have to get Debo out there. They have to get Kittle out there. They got to get Ayuk out there. They have to absolutely attack those secondary players. But it's all about making sure you get the pass out right because their defensive line is so good. It has to be it really has to be, Brock Purdy going out there and throwing dimes against the secondary because Josh Allen was doing that today. Josh Allen had a phenomenal game. I know he threw the pick, but I got to give Josh Allen his flowers because I've been very critical of Josh this whole season. I feel bad for him because he's 0-6 in overtime. It's like when overtime comes, you pretty much need to just stick a fork in Josh Allen. And tonight, it wasn't even his fault. He didn't throw a pick. He had the touchdown to Gabe Davis in the palm of his hands, man. Miscommunication. That was horrible. But he played a phenomenal game today. And you're right. The 49ers want to beat Philly. They have to take care of their secondary because that is their weak link. Very, very good call on that. Josh Allen was a monster on the ground tonight. Yeah, he was. Niners got to take care of those linebackers and run with CMC. I think CMC could be a monster. Debo can be a monster on the ground. Elijah Mitchell. 49ers have to run. And a big thing that the 49ers have to do is stop the run of the Eagles. They got Swift. He's great. That stupid tush push, they're going to run it and play it. Can the linebackers and the 49ers front seven, can they stop that stupid tush push? I hope so, man. That's a critical play for the Eagles. When they get in big situations, they just run that. And can the 49ers stop it? Can they stop the tush push? So, one interception was the mistake. I agree. This is it right here. Raphael says 49ers need to win time of possession and play disciplined football. You're right. You're absolutely right. Eagles win ugly games, and this game next week will be ugly. I can't see us winning next week. S. Dot says, I don't know. You can't never say never, man. Any given Sunday, again, there's so many games this year that you're like, wow, I can't believe, So I wouldn't say it would be, a fantasy if the 49ers win. They absolutely can win next week. They have a very strong defense. The defense is playing better. Chase Young is a player that is an X factor. And I think that's something we got to talk about. This defensive line has been absolutely cooking since they got Chase Young, right? We talked about 15 sacks in 3 games. We talked about Nick Bosa has 5 sacks in 3 games, 11 tackles, 10 QB hits. We talked about Arik Armstead. You guys saw the stats yesterday. I posted up. This man has been on a tear since Chase Young has come in. And Javon Hargrave as well. Those 3 guys have benefited so much since Chase Young. Chase Young doesn't need to go and get sats and stuff. His presence opens it up for Bosa, for Hargrave, and Armstead. Like, those guys are playing so good. And that is a difference the 49ers didn't have last time they played the Eagles. They didn't have the Chase Young. They had Omenihu. Yes, they had Samson Ebukam. But those 2 guys, sorry, no disrespect, those 2 guys are not Chase Young caliber players, man. That's all I'm going to say. Chase Young is a key that is going to give the 49ers an opportunity to win against Philadelphia. I'm telling you, he changed the team, man. He has changed this team for better. Ethan says, if it comes down to the Eagles needing a touchdown and they're at the 1 or 2 yard line, I'm turning off the TV. Oh, shit, man. I think I'm going to have a vomit bag next to me next week. Even I'm going to have like a bag. So if I need to, I'm going to just throw up. Because if that's the situation, or if Moody's like lined up for a 48-yard, let's say he's lined up for a 50-yard field goal, 3 seconds left, I'm going to throw. I'm going to be sick to my stomach next week. Pablo says, if the Jets can do it, we can do it. And if Allen can do it, Purdy surely can. Just got to have faith. That's a great comment, Pablo. I think the 49ers will be studying that Jets tape very heavily this week because that is the one team that beat the Eagles. They're going to study that Chiefs game because the Chiefs were dominating them for most of that game. They're going to study that Bills game because the Bills had them on the ropes. And then they're going to study that Jets game because the Jets actually beat them. You know what I mean? So it is definitely a factor. So, yeah, we have the film on the game from the Bills too. Yeah, it's going to be a great game, ladies and gentlemen. I'm excited. I'm hyped up, man. You don't understand. This is going to be a game next week. I wish I could go to the link and go. Maybe I should make the trip. Maybe I should fly. I don't work Sunday. I don't work Monday. Maybe I could go to this game in Philly, man. S. Dot, this man, bro, says we need Zach at Will. We need Zach. Can you imagine? Niners call up Robert Salah, Kyle Shannon. Hey, Robert, I got a favor for you. You're having trouble with Zach Wilson. I need him. I need him for Philly. You got Brock Purdy. Just for this week, we're playing Philly. He's the only quarterback that can be. We need to pick his break. I need to call Zach. I need him on my scout team this week so I can see how he beat Philly. Can you imagine? Can you imagine that? I'm gonna get eat. If I go to the game, I will not come back. I will be buried alive. Oh man, I'm gonna get jumped. I probably would, man. My small ass would get and jumped and whooped up, man. Especially my loud ass. I'd be saying something stupid and it would cost me to get whooped up, man. I honestly, if I go, I need an entourage. I need safety. I need a bouncer. I need security. Whew. Yeah, Raymond, this is the key. See, he gets it. Chase played Philly 2 times with the Commanders. Chase Young, ladies and gentlemen, Chase Young is the key to the 49ers beating Philly. And also, y'all forget they have Javon Hargrave, who guess what team he used to play for? Philadelphia Eagles. Chase Young, Javon Hargrave are going to be the key for the 49ers in stopping the Philadelphia Eagles. Whoo, Chief. Domain says Philly is wild. I bet it. He lives in Maryland, and I know cheese steaks. Yeah, Philly seems wild, man. My man, Suchik Parik has club seats. Bro, you are awesome, man. Maybe I'll get a club seat from you and hang out with you. I'll be safe in the club seats. Yeah, Young always eats in Philly. He does. Different offense from when Hargrave was in Philly. He still knows a lot about them. He still knows a lot about them. My man Terrence says, I live in Pennsylvania. Eagles fans are talking shit. They think they're going to blow us out. I know. I'm sure they're talking. They've been talking all year. Depressed Niners fan says, seriously, how did Zach Wilson do it? I don't. That's why we got to call him up, get him on the scout team. Oh man, I'd go to Lincoln Field with my red and gold. I'll fight whoever wants to fight. I probably would too, Joe. But that's the problem. I'd get knocked out, man. They'd have a army against me, and I'd get kicked in the teeth. But hey, it'd be worth it. I'd be in the hospital like, I'd be whipped up. But hey, appreciate you, Key. C27, whew, club seat. That's sick, man. Good for you, man. That's awesome. David says we got to outbid the Eagles for the refs. Oh man, I'm a little nervous for this game because that is one of the reasons. What are the refs gonna do? What are the refs gonna do in this? Let's go. You just bought a new Niners beanie. Let's go, man. If you're not from Philly, you're a foreigner. Yeah, that's the way it probably goes, huh? Please, honestly, Raymond, right here, this is the comment of the night. Please, nobody celebrate at the Rocky statue. After the game, yes. After the game, I want you to take as many selfies with Rocky if the 49ers win. I want you to take a naked picture with Rocky. Whatever you got to do. You can dress up Rocky in Niner gear, but please, for the love of God, do not take a picture with Rocky before the game in Niner gear. Please do not. Please do not take a picture with Rocky before. Please do not. Leave that damn statue alone. Rocky just wants to live and be his own. He just leave the statue alone. You can take all your damn photos and videos and content after the 49ers beat the Eagles. But please, before the game, leave that damn statue alone. Please, please, please leave that statue alone. Depressed Niners fan says, hopefully Dallas can beat Philly too the following week after. So this is clutch because if the 49ers can beat Philly and then Dallas can beat Philly, I don't know about that. But if Dallas can beat Philly, the 49ers can beat Seattle again, which they probably could, and they beat Philly, ladies and gentlemen, we are in the number 1 seed. So we have a critical 2-game stretch here. Philly has 49ers and Dallas. San Francisco has Philly and Seattle. This is the most critical stretch of the entire season right now. Pablo says Dallas beating Philly, LOL. Hey, a man can dream. Raphael says, who's stopping Bosa? Good question. Terrence says, if Lane Johnson is out, the defensive line is going to eat. It's a huge factor. Absolutely. Jimmy says, the value of a reliable kicker on full display in that game. Philly's guy hit a tough clutch kick from 59 to go to overtime and in the rain, Jimmy. Buffalo's guy missed from 48 and had one blocked from 34. You're absolutely, we talked about it earlier. That was a huge difference of the game. A reliable kicker is so big in these big games like this, in critical moments, in close games. A kicker is all the difference. And you hit the nail on the head, Jimmy. That man from Philadelphia hit a 59-yard field goal with like 20 seconds to go in the rain. Drilled that. He drilled it. I was like, wow, what a kick. Buffalo missed it from 48, and he got blocked from 34. Hell of a play by Carter, the rookie, to get his hands up on that play. But that was the ball. That's a difference of the game. Like those little things were big differences in the game. Interception, couple missed kicks. You don't give a good team like Philadelphia extra chances. You're absolutely correct on that one. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a tough game next week. We will talk all about it all week. Probably going to stop. We're probably going to head out now and make some dinner and all that good stuff. But I want to say thank you for hopping on the stream. This was a good, fun stream tonight. Appreciate the support on all the channels. Make sure you hit that like button on the YouTube. Make sure you subscribe. Tell all your friends, all that stuff, your boys on live and on YouTube. Make sure you keep supporting all the other pages. Appreciate you guys. We are closing in on 300K on Instagram. Thank you very much. You guys have a good rest of your night. I hope you guys have had a good weekend. And enjoy the rest of the week because it's going to be a fun week. There's a lot of good content to post, a lot of revenge game posts and hype to post, and then the game on Sunday. If you guys are going to the game next week, enjoy it. Be safe. Don't do anything too stupid. And for the love of God, nobody, if you are in Philadelphia and you're a Niner fan, please leave that damn Rocky statue alone before the game. And with that, I bid you farewell. Have a good night. I love you. Have a good one.